7 reasons to prove Jesus is God. 1. Jesus claims to be God. John chapter 8 verse 58 says, before Abraham was, I am. He claims equality with God. This is the very reason why the Jews are trying to stone him to death. Second, God the Father calls Jesus God. Verse 8 says, for the Son, he says, your throne, O God. And the succeeding verses is in reference to Psalms 102, saying there is one God. Hence, that one God in Psalms 2 is Jesus in Hebrews chapter 1. Third, the apostles, disciples, and witnesses claim Jesus is God. Let's start with John the Beloved. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. John chapter 1 verse 1. And in verse 14, that Word became flesh. And who is that? Christ. Second, Peter says or describes Jesus as God and Savior. When Thomas understood and see Jesus, he says, my Lord and my God. Paul described Jesus in Philippians chapter 2 verse 6 that Jesus is in the very nature of God, and many more witnesses. Now, fourth, Jesus was offered and accepted worship. When John is trying to worship the angel didn't allow him because worship is due for God. But when Jesus was worshipped by people, like when he entered Jerusalem, he never rejected such worship. Fourth, Jesus has the authority to forgive sins, which is God's authority alone. In Mark chapter 2, the Jews recognize that. And he says, or Jesus says, I have the authority to forgive sins. Sixth, Jesus has the attribute of God. First, eternality. John 1:1, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. He is co-existent or co-eternal with the Father. John chapter 17, he prays and says that glorify me as I have glorified you before all the worlds. Omnipotence, he is all-powerful. Who can walk in the water? Who can feed 5,000 and more? Who can turn water into wine? Who can do those? But only God, who is all-powerful. Matthew chapter 28 verse 18, all authority is given to Jesus. He is all-powerful. Omniscience, he knows what the people are thinking. He is omniscience. And many more attributes of God. Seventh and the last, Jesus is the Creator. 1 Corinthians chapter 8 verse 6, it says, in which all things were created through him. Who's that him? Jesus Christ, God the Father, the triune God. Jesus is God. 7 reasons, and there are more. Believe Jesus is Lord, and you cannot be saved without acknowledging his divinity. God bless you.